This past weekend, the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Cincinnati Bengals to advance to Super Bowl 58, which is going to be taking place on February 12th in Arizona. But during the AFC Championship Trophy presentation, tight end Travis Kelce told the mayor of Cincinnati to know your role and shut your mouth. Wanted to know, what does this say about the influence of pro wrestling in the world of sports and entertainment at large?
Well, because it's a contact sport, they understand. I don't think they know the severity of how tough pro wrestling is, but they probably have an idea that people is not made of cotton. That is plywood under that. And that piece that's above it that you see everybody laying on, I can't think of it, the cloth, that's just made to cover yourself in the plywood. If anybody watched AEW on Wednesday night and you saw that Darby
Samoa
Allin
Joe.
versus Samoa Joe match, which was a great match, and you see him cut Darby Allin, the pliers to cut it. Yeah, that's all it is. It's nothing to protect yourself. So imagine doing bumps on that for 40 years or so, like Ric Flair, or 30 years or so. So they probably have an idea. And I mean, it's The Rock too. That's the thing. Like, it's two different people. It's The Rock and Dwayne Johnson. We seeing Dwayne Johnson right now. He a lame, but I remember The Rock. Once again, we came up in attitude here. We remember The Rock. You feel me? And The Rock used to say stuff. I'm to this day I'll be quoting. I'm like, dog, what does that even mean? And then like, dog, Rudy, what is a Rudy Poo?
Rudy
You
Poo.
feel me? Talking about taking stuff and shoving it up people's, what? It's like, dog, what? So him saying know your role. Shouts out once again to Mr. Ron Simmons. He's the one that, coined that term. He used to tell The Rock and everybody else that was in the Nation of Domination, just know your role and shut your mouth about the business. So that term went from him to The Rock, and then now it's being said 20 plus years, probably 30 years later. It's the brilliance of it, man. It's an art form, being pro wrestling. It's the reason why we, at times we mark out for it, because just like fanatical things in movies, some truth to it. You know what I mean? Where did the idea come from? So him quoting that, I really did enjoy it. That's my Super Bowl pick, by the way. I don't care nothing about the damn Eagles. I wish nothing but the worst for Eagle fans. I don't like y'all. If you listen to this at the sound of my voice, I do not like y'all. The Cowboys is going, hey, Pat my homeboy throwing 500 yards on y'all against that great defense.
I'm still, listen. I'm not gonna sit up here and go for the Eagles because I'm a New York sports fan myself. So fingers crossed for Mahomes. But to this point, first of all, I think that this speaks to what makes pro wrestling so special. The names transcend the industry, and the charisma and the characters transcend the industry itself to translate into multiple aspects of everything that we love about other forms of sports and entertainment, right? Like, once again, we grew up on The Rock. I'm pretty sure Travis Kelce grew up on The Rock. And if you look across the landscape of sports right now, you see so many different wrestling references in sports, whether it's Travis Kelce saying, know your role and shut your mouth, George Kittle of the San Francisco 49ers doing a little Pinto Cero Miedo celebration. We can look at Joel Embiid doing the freaking DX chop begrudgingly against my Brooklyn Nets when he was getting into them. But I feel like this says so much about the influence of pro wrestling, because it's the things that make pro wrestling special: the defiance, the rebellion, the anti-establishment nature that we fell in love with, that translates so well across other industries. I feel like it also shows that attitude and charisma and words sell fights. They try to do it in UFC. We see it sometimes in basketball, sometimes in football, but these are the things that make you excited to watch a game. And that's not by coincidence. I feel like that is directly tied to pro wrestling. The fact that the words that you say precede you and precede a game, and they build anticipation for an event that everybody wants to buy into. That's very much a pro wrestling thing. That's very much, more specifically, a WWE thing, because they've been able to refine it and perfect it more than any other promotion consistently has. But I just, when I see stuff like this, where I see Travis Kelce telling, that mayor to know your role and shut your mouth. It just shows you that wrestling is everywhere. It's everywhere, and it's so influential. And yeah, I just thought that was just like a super dope moment. But yeah, that's really really all I had to say about it. Wanted to know what everybody else feels about this occurrence, but I think we're gonna move on from there, unless you had some other thoughts, Banks.
What else do you think about the Kansas City Chiefs?
As a team,
it doesn't matter what you think about the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's move on.
Damn, I'm tight. I felt for that, but moving on from that because I deserve that. Yeah, I deserve that. I'm gonna eat that like a grown man because I deserve that.
No. It just it's 20 plus years of this dude that did that 20 plus years ago, and it's still being quoted. That's what it is. Like, you be always, I promise you, at least once a week in your head, you be wanting to say that to people just to mess with them.
That's a fact.
That's how it works, bro. Like, people with the stone cold quotes and all that.
I be wanting to open a can of whooping.
People still be doing that.
That's
you
want to
open up a can of what, brother? Open up a can of prayer for the people that you don't like. All right, Ezekiel 3.
Not Ezekiel 3, but we gonna move on because you said you were talking about All Elite Wrestling, and it kind of works perfectly into our next little segment, because All Elite